Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Tour Confidential on Golf.com. I'm Marika Washdishin, filling in for Jessica Marksbury this week. I am here with Brendan Moeller from Golf.com, and joining us via Skype is Golf Magazine contributor Josh Sens. We are looking at a very exciting start to the PGA Tour. Lots of new talent coming in, including Emiliano Grillo, who just won back-to-back events at the Web.com Tour Championship and the PGA Tour opener at the Fries.com Open. So Josh, I'm going to ask you first, is this a sign of strong young players coming onto the PGA Tour, or is it more an indication that the fall series has weaker fields going into the start of the tour?
Well, you know, the NFL likes to talk about parity, but I think the PGA Tour is really where you have the on any given Sunday phenomenon. There's so much depth. This past season, Jordan Spieth obviously sort of played the role of the New England Patriots. He was in everything. But on a week-to-week basis, I mean, there's so much depth. Grillo represented this week. We had Justin Thomas in the running, Patrick Rogers. Even with a guy like Rory in the field, you just never know who's going to win, and that makes it exciting to watch. And I think it's a reflection of the depth and the fact that you know, while you have a couple looming talents, there's always guys coming up looking to chase them.
Right, of course. And, you know, Brendan, we talked about a little bit this morning about the class of 2011, how there are all of these guys like Emiliano and Jordan Spieth and Daniel Berger and Justin Thomas. So what can we expect from these young guys coming up on tour now?
Well, a lot of these guys, I mean, their names might be new, but that's just to the casual golf fan. Last season, they were around every week. This leaderboard, even though it was a fall series event, which often gets a bad rap, it had names on it that we've seen almost every week. And I'm not talking about Rory McIlroy, Justin Rose, or any of those guys. I'm talking about some of the guys that you mentioned. So I tend to agree with Josh. This is really more of a sign of there being just an immense amount of good young talent. It's also a good sign for the Web.com Tour because they've sort of rebuilt this playoff format along the lines of what the FedEx Cup has become. And these guys are coming out on tour, and Grillo won in his first start. I mean, that's unheard of, and for somebody who's 22 years old to win two of the biggest tournaments he's ever played in back-to-back, I mean, anything can happen this year.
He had a hot start, like you just said. 2 back-to-back wins, one finishing his previous tour and one starting his new one. Other guys have not been so lucky, and even Grillo had a misstep back in the Puerto Rico Open. He missed a 3-foot putt, and he lost a chance at a PGA Tour card. So is it fluky that he won this, or are we looking at something at greatness coming into the new Spieth, maybe?
I think a lot of people will call it fluky just because they don't know this guy, and he beat Kevin Na in a playoff, who also sort of has been known to collapse under pressure and sort of did yesterday. But given that he's won these 2 events and he beat a really strong field on Sunday in Napa, and that really can't be discounted. So I think this kid will be great. I don't think he's going to run the table this fall or even this season, but I wouldn't be surprised if he won again this year. And even if not, I'd expect to see his name up there a lot.
Golf is such a fickle game, and all these guys have a capability of catching lightning on any given week. So we'll see him here and there. Is he gonna dominate on a Spieth-like level? No, but he's one of a number of names we're gonna watch for this year. You know, guys like Tony Finau we saw play well at the PGA Championship. All these guys are going to be in the mix, and it makes for an exciting time.
Well, absolutely. And so with that much young talent abundant on the PGA Tour, we look forward to the start of a new season. Brendan, Josh, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you right back here next week.